Welcome to TakeOver 36. Now, I know there's how can I say this? You guys don't care about WWE. I know many of you don't. You're here because I do Impact, I do AEW, I've done NWA, I now do Dynamite, at least for the time right now, do Dynamite, and anything else that's interesting. And I know you don't care about WWE, but in this situation, the end of NXT, I gotta cover it. TakeOver 36 is the last NXT before the full change from Vince and Kennedy McMahon. Because we already know, and just in case some of you don't, let's make this very clear. Before going to USA, NXT was under control of Triple H. After, that was Vince. Let's be honest. I've heard many people say, well, Triple H had an attitude. This is all Triple H's stuff. No. It doesn't make a difference if he's got an ego bigger than Vince. Vince made this happen. This is Vince's call going to USA, not because he was assured by Triple H. This is Vince doing what Vince does, wanting to control everything when he has not had full control of everything. That is the reason why NXT failed against AEW. That is the reason why NXT is having this last show with whatever little control Triple H has to book it the way he wants. Because after this, Vince is totally in control, or he has someone already in control that will make sure it will go the way Vince wants. Period. So this is probably the last thing Triple H managed to get done that he wanted done. So, what do you get in this show? It was somewhat disappointing. For me personally, look, I don't see the product, but I do understand what's going on in it. So, some of it was a little disappointing. For me, a little disappointing. Opening, $1 Million Championship. We got Kirian Cross versus LA Knight. If LA Knight wins, you get the $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase as his butler from now on. Now, this was a pretty well packaged and presented storyline. It really was. Cameron Grimes wants to prove to Ted DiBiase that he is the future for the $1 Million belt and take the moniker of $1 Million Man. LA Knight says he was and is and always will be the true $1 Million Man. So now we get this match, which wasn't bad. And Cameron Grimes wins like everyone expects him to win. Yes, it's predictable. Yes, let's make it clear. Seeing Cameron Grimes here winning the way he did is predictable. We noticed it. You know, the reason that I'm botching a little bit is the question is, where is LA Knight going now? Is he staying on NXT or is he going straight to the main roster because Vince is Vince and he may just throw him on the main roster and bury his ass from this moment on? I'm hoping not. Stays on NXT at least until the full change is gone, and then he'll just get rid of him or completely rebuild him into something that Vince wants. That's just me. Now, the women's title, Dakota Kai versus a Raquel Gonzalez. Now, this was a bit of a disappointing match. Not because I didn't like Dakota Kai's hair, which I didn't. Total pink doesn't make her look good. She doesn't look correct with pink hair. Blue hair, yeah. Red hair, yeah. Yellow hair, yeah. Blondish hair, yes. But pink doesn't really look good on her. But that's not the reason why I'm saying it's disappointing and I didn't like it. It's because of Raquel Gonzalez. She's just not that good of a wrestler either yet or is. She doesn't feel like it. One, during the match, she tried to do a lot of power moves she did not have the full strength to handle. We can say she is strong for a 6-foot-tall woman. Yes, but she's not strong enough. She just doesn't have the bulk to lift up a Dakota Kai most of the time when she started getting tired. And she was leaning her like this and she started throwing around incorrectly, which looks like it actually hurt Dakota Kai a couple of times. Dakota had to literally carry the match to a very strong amount. She had to sell her ass off for a Raquel Gonzalez. In the end, Raquel won it. and I'm not against her, but I do believe she needs to work on herself. She needs better ring work. She needs more strength if she wants to keep doing those power moves. That's what she needs to do. Or she's going to end up like another Nia Jax. Or worse. We don't need that. Don't want it. Don't need it. Don't. Now, let's... Oh, and almost forgot. Katie Ray, who used to be a former NXT UK champion for women, she was there. Now, maybe Ray's going to be there from now on. I don't know. Now, let's go to the 2 out of 3 falls match. I know I'm skipping around, but this wasn't the best match. Many people will say it's good for the first and second falls, because it was. The first fall for Kyle O'Reilly and for Adam Cole, which the story wasn't badly built. It was good. It was a good built story. It was not bad. It wasn't difficult to follow. You got the Undisputed Era, started by Adam Cole. You got Kyle O'Reilly, who was a part of it. And Adam Cole making it very clear, you would have nothing without me. And you think you got something? You don't. You are nobody without me. And I'm going to end you. Fine. This was well built. It wasn't bad. The first fall was a straight match, which was a good match. And in the end, Adam Cole won. Well, not won, but lost pretty quickly. Then you had the street fight, where you got Kyle O'Reilly having to sell some rib injuries, which is good. He sold it pretty damn well. He did. And then we finally had the street fight. And before the street fight happened, well, no, sorry. I think the reason I'm watching the street fight with the steel cage is because the street fight was way better than the steel cage match. Because the steel cage match was disappointing for me personally. Because the street fight was fine. I actually liked it. It was a pretty good street fight. It wasn't like the greatest I've ever seen, but it was pretty good. But when you get to the steel cage match, and before the steel cage match, you see Kyle O'Reilly getting his butt kicked because he was already butt kicked already. He got more butt kicking, and then you get into the steel cage where neither one of them got out of the cage a lot or tried to escape. They just wanted to beat the shit out of each other. That's how it mainly was. One of them didn't try to escape that much. They just wanted to end the other, which is something you don't normally see. You always see somebody trying to escape the steel cage. You always see somebody, unless that was not one of the rules. The thing that got me, you get Kyle O'Reilly getting handcuffed eventually. I don't think I got a shot at that. If I do, I'll put it in my face. Then you see Adam Cole beating the crap out of him. And if the steel cage match was a standard steel cage match, why didn't he leave the steel cage? He did not. He kept getting too close to Kyle O'Reilly. Then Kyle O'Reilly, with one hand, and I believe I got that shot, puts him into a heel hook where he taps out like a bitch really quick. I'm like, when did Adam Cole mess up his knee? When? I don't remember him get his knee messed up during the match that badly. And just getting a simple heel hook with a guy who has one arm literally chained to the middle rope. No, the top rope. How? That didn't look good. It made him look like a bitch. Like he couldn't handle that type of stress and couldn't weasel his way out of it because simply he didn't have the strength when Kyle O'Reilly had one arm pretty much chained and could not escape. I just felt like in that situation, Adam Cole should have been taken to the top of the cage and powerbombed to oblivion. And that would look better than him bitching out to a heel hook. I'm just saying, that's just me. Okay, last match of the night, Kirian Cross versus Samoa Joe for the NXT Championship. Did not care, and I'm making it very clear, I didn't care. What happened to Kirian Cross when he dealt with Jeff Hardy. I'm mixing up Matt and Jeff because I don't even think about a Hardy being a jobber and winning over a champion of one of your brands so easily to make him look like shit. I'm sorry. And then finding out later that Jeff was going to bitch his ass out again, that's bad. The only reason that he got the win against Keith Lee is because, guess what? Jeff Hardy had covert, and he couldn't participate, just like what happened with Keith Lee, but months upon months ago. he now lost to Samoa Joe, who himself didn't look right. Samoa Joe, look, I love Joe. Joe looks like he could still go in the ring to a certain extent, but it looks like he got some ring rust because he was a bit slow. Now, Joe's style, for his size, is not the most fastest pace, but you can tell when Joe's working, he doesn't get tanked too easily because he's always getting good cardio. Here, he looked like he was getting tanked a little bit. That must show that he has not been able to really train the way he wants and go in the ring. Now, mind you, doesn't mean he hasn't been working in the ring, but there's a difference between doing it every week than just practicing a little bit like they mandatorily do now. It's different. And Joe looked a bit slow and more tanked than normal. So maybe, hopefully, when he does this all the time, that will go away, because that does happen. You haven't done it for a long time, you tank a little easier, you look a little sluggish until you get into the swing of things, and then you get better at it. Did I care about the match? No. Did I believe that Kirian Cross was going to win? No. Did I believe Joe was going to win? Yes. Did I believe the crowd was going to be behind Joe? Oh, yeah. And guess what? One part of the match, they started chanting Jeff Hardy's name. Some idiots will begin to chant Jeff Hardy's name to mess with Kirian Cross. That shows you how the fans don't care. That was just bad. I'm just saying this. This was not good for me, personally. I'm glad Joe became a 3-time champ, but it does not mean it's good for me, personally. It just feels like something is missing. Flat out for Joe. And that's all I can say. Finally, the best match of the night, and literally, it was on par with Edge, with Seth Rollins, and with Cena, as well as Roman Reigns, in emotion as well as ring work. Emotion was some one thing that drove this match, and that was easily on par with a Roman Reigns and a John Cena, because that had a lot of emotion in it. Because a lot of people thought John Cena was going to get the 17th title, and then you worry about Roman Reigns losing that damn title when he must need it. Seeing that Walter versus a Dragunov, I can't remember his name. You got an Austrian going up against a Russian, which basically they're almost the same people. Not saying they are exactly the same people, because Soviet Union's here and Austria's here, but you can connect the two peoples. They're not too much different. You can see how freaking tough both of them are. Now, Walter's here. Big ass man. You got him here. You got Dragunov here. A small, short runt of a Russian who took a huge amount of pounding. Getting smacked, getting punched, getting kicked. His chest from here to here was basically showing blood onto the skin, under the skin. It was that brutal. And seeing that the 870-day reign of Walter, and understand, this was about Dragunov, I believe that's his name. He wanted to make it clear that he truly must be champion of the NXT UK brand. And that he wanted to bring that title back to his son that he just had. His little son. Not son that he just had. His son. He wanted to bring that title back. And then you got Walter, who's been there for 2 years and maybe 4 months. Only one who had a reign that long was Asuka, and she gave him almost 900 days, and he was at 270. He was 30 days short of, I believe, Asuka, who had 900 days, who had almost 3 years of protection. And then we have this match, and it was very rough, very brutal, very, and I know a lot of people are not going to like this match because there was so much false starts. There was so much beating each other's own moves and how they would not always sell. I know. But, and I say this to you guys, and you know how I am, I like a balanced match of some high flying, some mat-based wrestling, and some really good ground and pound with storytelling. This has it. Yes, they didn't sell a lot. They just went from move to move to move to move. But you did see Dragunov showing huge amounts of emotion in his face. He has a lot of facial emotion where he must win. He refused to give up. You can see it on his face. You see it through Walter that he has been around for so long that he doesn't just feel that he's entitled. He is the only one that can do this. And he even gave a look like, I cannot quit. This is my title until I decide it is. And by the end of it, Walter finally taps out. He quits. And Dragunov is now the champion. The new Tsar, and I believe I got him in my face with that shot, the new Tsar era has begun. So what does this mean for Walter? I don't know. Does this mean he goes to NXT? I don't know. He may still be on UT. This is where the question comes in. Because the end has happened. We're done. But there's a huge amount of questions. One, where's Walter going? Is he staying on UK or is he now going to NXT? Also, Dakota Kai. What will happen to her? Will she go to the main roster or not? Because they want to bring more women to the main roster. What about the LA Knight? Will he stay and still continue having a feud with Cameron Grimes? Or will he go to the main roster himself? Finally, Adam Cole. He's now jobbed. He's now finished. He is the biggest question out of anyone if they're going to go to the main roster, or in his case, because if you didn't know, he literally finished his contract more than almost a month ago. And he told them, and he made an agreement to do an extension with that contract. He did a month-long extension. He's done now. He's finished. The question is, since he's done, did he decide to stay with WWE? Or is he done with the company, and in 1 month and 1 day from now, unless the new contract states that the next day he's done, because he's just done his 30 days. It counts on what he put in that extension. He says, look, the extension will be that I will work here and work through the 30 days that I am ordered not to participate in any promotion, any wrestling, and then the next day I'm off, or he does the 30 days afterward. I think he probably made the request, if he's leaving the company, that if he's going to stay, that 30 days he's got to run out while he's working. And tomorrow, he can go wherever the hell he wants. Either to NXT, well, not NXT, AEW, MLW, NWA, AEW, Impact Wrestling, New Japan Pro Wrestling, All Japan Pro Wrestling, doesn't matter. That's if he decides to not stay. Because we don't know. We don't know, like Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt may go back to the WWE. I'm botching because there's a lot of questions here. We don't know what's going on with Bray Wyatt. We definitely don't know what's going to happen with Adam Cole. After today, we'll find out if he's still working with the company, or he is not working with the company, but he has to wait 30 days, and then 31 days from now, we'll see him somewhere else. Will we see LA Knight, Walter, Dakota Kai? Will we see them on the main roster or not? That's a big question. Or Walter, will he go back to NXT UK, or is he on the main roster of NXT now because he now drops the title on TakeOver? That's a big question. But this is just me, and I hope you enjoyed this TakeOver 36. Please leave me a comment below. Now, I gotta say this right now. I do not know what's going to happen this week because I want to take a break. I've done a lot of videos. So I have one video already produced for Caleb Connery from Impact Wrestling, Caleb with a K. So I will probably upload that Monday. But doing NWA, I probably won't do a video of NWA. Dynamite, I probably will. When it comes to Impact, I probably will. When it comes to Rampage, I probably will. But NWA I'm leaving out. I don't know yet. I might just skip NWA, and I might just skip Impact or maybe Rampage. I don't know. I may just watch one of them. And that will be it. And I might just talk about it on one of the other videos, because I still have to do Empower next week and the 73th anniversary of NWA. So I want to rest. So I might just do 2 shows this week of maybe Impact and maybe Dynamite. I probably will do Impact and Dynamite. I don't know if I do Rampage, and I don't know if I do NWA. And I'm not definitely doing another Gump Report until the week after next. You will get 1 this week, and that should be it. But it's just me. Peace.